So it's the week before my exhibition at Grateful Gallery. I've got all this wood here I was kindly given. Cleared this back wall out because I'm going to put up some kind of wooden walls, kind of like that there. Start to put work up and see how it actually will look in a sort of, well, fake gallery sort of setting. Because I mean, just now I've just got things kind of like piled up in that little corner over there, but it's dark and manky or whatever, and you really can't get a sense of it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do this morning, is just get this wall put up. I'm hoping it's not going to take me too long, but I say that all the time and it ends up taking ages. So we'll see. Yeah, spoiler alert, it did take me ages. The thing with these walls is that they're very, very old and they've been kind of painted at some point, but they're basically just kind of crumbling apart. Whenever I drilled into them, the holes didn't stay like the right size that I wanted them to be. They kept kind of just crumbling, and so every time I put the plugs in and tried to like screw anything into them, they kind of just pulled bits of the wall out with them. With these being really old walls, they are like very, very crooked. So I guess usually what you do with this is like actually build a frame off of the wall, but the floor isn't level at all in here, and I think it would have been a nightmare. Plus, I was trying to do this as cheaply as possible. I managed to get all this wood for free, which is good. So I just kind of only wanted to work with what I had. All right. Just like you put them up there, yeah. Yeah. There was a bit of fun with these first batting things because the plugs just kept coming straight at the wall. That was my dad popping in there just to see how things were going. The next job was I've already put in the lowest band, so it was then to put the one up from that. I was just trying to see where the wood ended, and then so that I could catch it, so that I'll be able to screw in the bottom board and then the top board as well. So yeah, just measuring that up and trying to get it level. You always think that things are going to be a lot quicker than they actually are. Every time something gets in the way, but I've stripped this screw that I put in just to hold it in place whilst I've got the other holes drilled, and now it's not fucking coming out. But I'll get it. Bastard. After quite a few hiccups trying to drill these battens into the wall, I think I finally started to kind of get it a little bit. So yeah, things started to go a little bit smoother. I was starting to get into a bit of a flow with it, and yeah, it was working out. I wasn't getting as frustrated. Next, it was getting these bottom panels actually screwed up onto the wall. Yeah, this was quite difficult to do by myself. Like, the boards are heavier than you think they'd be, and just trying to like hold them up and screw them in place. Yeah, just not easy when you're by yourself. But and annoyingly as well, I had to, like, all these boards were double this size, but I couldn't get them up the stairs, so I had to cut them all in half so that they could actually get into the room. If I didn't have to cut them in half, it probably would have been easier because I could just, like, put a top and bottom batten and then drill them into that, and that would be it. But like I said, I had to split them, so it made it just a little bit more difficult. Screwing all these boards in, and then I don't know what was going on, but the drill just kind of wasn't working, and I think I had tried to put a few in by hand, just like screwing them in. Yeah, it was just being a bit of a pain. So I ended up changing over and just hammering them in, which made the whole thing just a lot quicker and a lot easier. I don't know why I didn't just do that from the beginning actually, but yeah, once I started using the hammer, the boards went up pretty quickly, and yeah, just about done. That's it up. It took a lot longer than I anticipated, of course. Um, yeah, a few of these boards are a wee bit, they've got a wee bit of wet and damp on the side, so I'm just going to try and dry that out as best I can, clean them up and then give them a paint. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. It's not the best. A few little bits, but you know what it's going to do. It's just to put artworks up on, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And there's potentially changes I can do in the future. I'm not going to do that, but I could potentially. You'll notice here that the wall has actually already been painted. I'd done it the night before. I didn't film it because it was such a nightmare. I thought it'd be quicker to use like a paint gun that someone let me borrow, but for whatever reason I could not get it to work right, and it just basically splattered all over the wall and kind of just went everywhere. And I sort of, yeah, I tried brushing it on, and it took ages. It took way longer than it would have if I'd just done it this way to begin with. But what can you do? I didn't buy a roller pole, but I did find this copper pipe, so I thought I'd try and sort of jimmy something together and see if I could make a roller out of this. It didn't really work all that well, to be honest, and yeah, I think I ditched it about 2 minutes after this. This room's very cold. The coat that I'd done the night before wasn't 100% dry when I put that next coat on there, so I managed to get this heater that I just left kind of blasted at the wall for a bit, and yeah, it dried the paint really, really quickly actually.
Local man enraged that car is being removed.
After enjoying a bit of drama out on the street, watching the council trying to pick up two massive trucks and tow them away, I was back into the work and finishing up or changing this piece that I previously made that I wasn't very happy with. I had a new idea for it, so yeah, I wanted to try that out whilst the wall was drying. mean, it's not the best wall I've ever seen. It's yeah, it's a bit of a patchwork quilt, but it works. It works. Yeah, it'll give me a wee space just to sort of like hang up artworks and see how they look in a sort of more kind of like gallery setting. There's definitely some improvements that I could make. But for now, it's going to be absolutely fine. I was just finishing up the preparations for this one before moving on to another one that I was going to prepare and get ready so that I can just do all the welding at the one time. Once those two pieces were done, I just had to mark out and drill holes on the back of one of them so that it can be hung up on the wall easily. was really nice to start getting these things up on the wall. Like I mentioned, it's really hard to get an impression of what you've been making when you've just got it sitting against a kind of brick wall or in a dark kind of dingy spot. So yeah, being able to see the things that you've been working on for months and months finally up on like a nice clean white wall really gives you a sense of accomplishment and yeah, a sense of them actually being kind of finished things rather than something that you just sort of, I don't know, put to the side and then move on to like something else. I'm just heading down to the studio now. Yeah, well, I'm reluctant to say it, but I think I am. I think I am done. I'm kind of just putting the artworks up, and got a friend coming down this afternoon who's gonna take a look at everything and help me kind of decide how to set up the show and what bits it's best to show and what bits are, you know, maybe not as strong. So it'd be great to get that kind of like outside perspective because yeah, after looking at it for weeks and weeks and thinking about it for days on end, it's great to just get that outside perspective on things. I'm going to be painting a mural on the outside of the gallery, so there's a little bit of preparation for that. I'm feeling excited about the exhibition. I mean, last week I was anxious and I was, in all honesty, a little bit confused as to what I was doing. I think I lost my way a little bit with it. I think that like the first series of these artworks that I made, they were really quite bold and sort of like in your face and pretty heavy material wise. I kind of intuitively started this series a bit more stripped back, letting the materials kind of like speak for themselves without overdoing it. As it was getting closer to this exhibition, started kind of slipping back into the mindset that I had for that first series. Started to add more and more, whereas what I really wanted to do was sort of do less, I suppose. I had a bit of a moment and a real good think about things. So when I came back into the studio this week, it helped me be much more decisive with what I was doing. And the final selection I've got now, I'm happy with. I'm going to go along to the gallery on Sunday, take some of the works along, start setting up and do a bit of planning for the mural. So yeah, we'll see how today goes. There was just a few final bits to get up on the wall. I wasn't too fussy about how things looked at this point. I wasn't going to display it at the gallery like this or anything like that. It just needed to be
on the wall so that we could see all the work and talk about it and decide on the order. But yeah, everything went really well there, and it was, like I said, it was great to get someone coming in who's never really seen it before and who's not been looking at it every day for the past 2 months or something. So yeah, it was really worthwhile. On Sunday evening, I popped through to Glasgow just to drop off some of the artworks and some of the equipment that I need for the Wednesday coming, just for hanging everything up and for doing the mural that I'm painting on the outside of the gallery wall. It was really exciting to get there, to drop off the work and meet the guys from the gallery again, and just feel like the project was moving on to the next stage, the part that feels so distant at the very beginning but comes round quick enough. So yeah,